How's it going, everybody? We are going to be doing a react to the Hobgoblin kit reveal that is coming from my fellow envoy, Updog. Make sure you go check him out. Make sure you subscribe to his channel, leave a like, all that great stuff. So let's find out what's going to be going on with the much more menacing, much more brutal glider, Hobgoblin. Take it away, Updog.
Hey everyone, it's Updog here, the People's Envoy, and I've got a Envoy exclusive for you with Hobgoblin's kit here. So let's get into it. He's got a pretty simple kit, but really powerful. So I am excited to share this with you guys. So first up, his traits. He is a city villain tech. My favorite trait in the game is villain tech support. But he's not support, he's a controller, as you might expect. And obviously Spider-Verse, Sinister 6 tag. He's also got the new Insidious 6 tag as well. He's 120 speed, so technically like around average-ish for the game. So not super fast, but respectable, I'd say. So
okay, let's talk about these tags. So obviously, we talked about this in my Scorpion video the other day. Villain City is great for anybody who still needs to get Odin. That's good. Controller, there's actually a lot of things in the game that really mess with controllers, like Morgan the Fae, like Kahori targets the controller. There's other attributes that hit controllers harder than other characters, so that's something to keep an eye out for. Sinister 6 Spider-Verse, we're happy he has those tags. Make sure he gets all that synergy. Of course, he's got the Insidious 6 tag. He does not have any other team tags. Scorpion had the Infestation tag. Sorry, I blanked on it for a second. I was hopeful that either Hobgoblin or Superior Spider-Man are going to have the Superior 6 tag, so there goes one of our chances. The fact that we are not going to be getting a Superior 6 tag on Hobgoblin does hurt, because we really want to be able to pair two Superior 6 members with a character like Vulture or Mysterio with the Insidious 6 team. Now, the math adds up to needing a minimum of 6 characters, unless one of the Insidious 6 characters gets that Superior 6 tag. This is going to be incredibly important for both War and Crucible. And yeah, like Updog said, at 120 speed stat, he's coming in very average speed. In fact, a little bit below average when you think about it. I look at like about 124, 125 to be about the new average as far as meta speeds go, especially if they don't have built-in speed bar, speed stat, or speed up on spawn in their kit. So this is relatively slow. It's like Taskmaster's speed, right? Think about Taskmaster feels incredibly slow until you get into War. He gets that turn meter on spawn. So a little bit of a concern there, but just like with Scorpion, who's even slower at 107, there's going to be ways to speed this guy up. We're going to have, in the Sinister 6 Superior tag, if there's a Vulture on your team and the enemy still wants to speed up, we can get him speed up, right? If there is a Green Goblin, he could turn meter one of the enemies, and that just kind of makes your character feel faster. And of course, part of the new Vulture kit, which we broke down in video 2 days ago, he's also going to be giving 10% speed bar to Insidious 6 members on spawn. So it's going to feel better, but still a little, actually, 10% with 120, that's not bad. If speed bar is not being blocked, in War or Crucible. Anyway, let's let Updog carry on.
I'm gonna skip the basic and everything for right now. We're gonna go right into.
Okay, well, I want to see the basic. Attack primary target for 200% piercing. Bonus attack 3 times for 50% piercing. Okay, that's a pretty strong basic. So we're looking at 150% piercing just to the primary. Never mind, it's kind of weak. Okay.
Respectable, I'd say. So, I'm gonna skip the basic and everything for right now. We're gonna go right into. I like starting off with the passive just to kind of see how that plays into everything. So, Maniacal Mastermind. On successful attack by this character, apply 1 random negative effect for 2 turns.
Okay, I need to stop it because this is huge with Scorpion, which we did that video the other day. So for Scorpion, whenever an enemy with a negative effect is attacked, it applies bleed. If there's, I believe it's 2 Insidious 6 members, then instead of it being 1 bleed to a random enemy, it's 1 bleed to a random enemy plus 2 more bleeds to 2 other random enemies. So really going to be impactful here with on-successful attack by this character applying negative effects. It means there's going to be negative effects everywhere.
I'm assuming that would be part of the T4. If this character has 2 Insidious 6 allies and 2 other Sinister 6 allies, apply offense down for 2 turns, defense down 2 turns, slow 2 turns, and it gains 1000% extra focus. So that's after a successful attack. He's going to do all this stuff already after that. So pretty crazy. I think the random effects are going to be like offense down, defense down, slow, and I believe that's it.
That's traditionally it. When it's one random negative effect, so like for Morto's basic, it applies random negative effects. Offense down, defense down, and slow are the only 3 negative effects that are in there. There's no disrupt, there's no ability block, there's no bleeds. That's what they consider the random negative effects. They should probably spell it out. The fact that they spell it out next, this is the explanation as to why, right? So let's read this. If this character has 2 Insidious 6 allies or 2 other Sinister 6 allies, this is the same issue Scorpion has. That's why we really, if we want to get any sort of play with the Superior 6 characters and how they unlock different attributes with the Sinister 6 characters, we really need, for now, Superior Spider-Man's got to have that Superior 6 tag. It's in his goddamn name, so hopefully that's going to be the case. Yeah, because like Chad is saying, this team needs speed. So we need to be able to access that potential speed up from Vulture. We need to be able to access those turn meter rewinds that Green Goblin Classic can put out there to help our characters at least feel faster. Vulture is going to be giving us 10% on spawn, which is pretty cool, right? But right now, the math isn't really mathing on trying to get the fun theory crafting potential, having to use the 3 Insidious 6 characters together to activate their cooler kits here. Because again, Vulture did not get that Insidious 6 tag. He still only has Sinister 6.
I haven't had a meeting with the devs for me to get confirmation on what other negative effects he would randomly apply. But it would be cool if he had like Disrupt and some of the other negative effects. But we'll have to wait and see if we get a chance to play with him on the test server or for the dev interview that we have. So then let's see, when an enemy that has a negative effect is attacked, so that means this is out of turn action happening here, so
which is good.
The other teammates of Hobgoblin, if they attack an enemy with a negative effect, he's going to attack the most injured enemy for 150% damage. So that's kind of like Green Goblin's passive, where he does the pumpkin bombs. But he doesn't have a charged mechanic, so he'll just keep doing this no matter what. If this character has 2 Insidious 6 allies and 2 Sinister 6 allies, then reduce the enemy's speed bar by 6%. So not only is he going to be hitting them, he's going to be rewinding them as well. And if this character has 2 Insidious 6 allies and 2 Sinister 6 allies, this character and Sinister 6 allies cannot have their focus reduced. So that one, for me, isn't as big of a part of his passive, but the rest of his passive is amazing, I think. So
okay, we can talk about this second last part. Okay. If this character has 2 Insidious 6 or 2 Sinister 6 allies, reduce that enemy's speed by 6%. I assume it means reduce an enemy that has an enemy that has an A effect is attacked. We need clarification if this is multiple hits, right? Is this the primary target only? Let's say my Green Goblin Classic goes, when he does a hit, he'll flip buffs into debuffs. Does his next hit activate Hobgoblin's passive? Now the attack portion specifies it's only the most injured enemy. Is this speed bar rewind going to be AoE, or is it going to be the most injured enemy? This is pretty important kit clarification that we're definitely going to have. So hopefully we will get to do those testings to make sure. But this is really powerful. Again, this could help revitalize the Superior 6 team, not just in War, which I think in War they're going to be okay, but in Crucible, where with only 6 rooms, they really need to get that extra step up in order to be useful. This turn meter rewind would help him because Green Goblin Classic is not going to get as much speed bar on spawn, so the enemy is going to be closer to their turn than they normally are. So with his rewind, which I think is Sinister 6 characters affect the amount it rewinds, this additional rewind would be really impactful. But once again, if we cannot kind of mix the buffs that Superior 6 give to a character like Mysterio or like Vulture, with having all 3 Insidious 6 members as well, because there's so much of the Insidious 6 characters kit locked behind having to be with the full 3, then this would really, really hurt the theory crafting for the Insidious 6 team when trying to be paired with the Sinister 6 characters like Vulture, like Shocker, and the Superior 6 characters. So yeah, there we go. Howard and Britain might just shut this team down. Yes, it does. It does currently feel like Speedbar will just immediately shut this down. It still feels like Illuminati would just dumpster this team the way it's going. Okay, here we go.
Rewinding people outside of his turn, that's crazy.
It's very powerful. It's very
all
good.
Right, so let's see. His ult is a 4 out of 6. Just normal cost. So we're gonna do that, read that second, and he will open up with his special. And like I said, these are very simple abilities, but also yet powerful. So the special.
Is there a way to get this to happen turn 1? Shocker is going to be slower than 120. So Shocker is not going to be giving him energy to do this turn 1. Because I'm thinking about Scorpion, right? Scorpion needs 2 energy on spawn in order to do his ult turn 1. So it does seem like, I don't think Spider-Man, Superior Spider-Man, they did say in the blog that he has a way to give energy. I don't think he's going to be giving energy turn 1. Because if he's giving energy turn 1, Hobgoblin only needs 1 energy, and then he could ult turn 1. Well, maybe he will then. Because I would really like to see the ultimate from Scorpion happen turn 1, because that's a lot of bleeds, it's a lot of buff reduction, and he's already so slow, so you want that to happen really fast into the match. I don't want that to be a turn 2 ability, otherwise, like, that use is already all gone, right? Shocker gives him 1 energy on spawn. No, he gives him an energy when he does his special, and in raids, he gives him 5 energy on spawn. Let's see what these abilities do. But yeah, the fact that these guys are not ulting turn 1 unless Superior Spider-Man's got a lot to deliver here. We really need Superior Spider-Man to have the Superior 6 tag, or to give them some sort of speed stat they can work with. We need him to give ability energy as well, and we need him to go first for all that to matter.
Special attack primary and adjacents for 200% piercing, flip all positive effects, and he will.
So we're going to start this over just so we can hear him do the special from the beginning.
Open up with his special, and like I said, these are very simple abilities, but also yet powerful. So the special attack primary and adjacents for 200% piercing, flip all positive effects. I'm assuming that's going to be a T4 for the all positive effect part. Repeat this attack 3 times using a new primary target randomly chosen from the previous secondary targets. So we've had this with other characters, so pretty not standard, I guess, but
no, we have not had this with other characters. This is way more powerful. We've had it repeat this attack 1 time, Lady Deathstrike. We've had repeat this 2 times with Shocker. We've not had it be a new stat character with 200% piercing, flipping all positive effects, repeating 3 times, which is a total of 800% piercing damage with a new stat character. This is a really, really, really hard-hitting ability. And the fact that new primary target randomly chosen, the fact that it kind of could be like a rebound chain to hit the same characters 4 times is crazy. That's a really, really powerful ability. Okay.
But something not new, I guess. This attack is unavoidable, can't be blocked, and it's a permakill attack, so
love that.
Target those characters that might have revives, or might just maybe have like a revive once, or just have a revive ability in general. So I can't wait to
let me speak there. So characters killed by second cannot be revived. You do not have to target characters that can do a revive here, right? You can kill their friends, and then they won't be able to revive their friends. That's the most important. The attack being unavoidable, cannot be blocked. That's huge. The fact that it can't be blocked means that it's going to be easier to flip those abilities. Now, X is bringing up an important factor here. Like, lots of the most powerful teams right now are all spawning with Safeguard on spawn. And the only way to counter that is to either bring a character like Medusa in War, who can kind of stop Safeguard on a couple characters, or much more likely, Apocalypse or Ares, or I guess Phoenix Force in Crucible, right? The problem is, we're already so tight with trying to get the good synergies from Insidious 6, Sinister 6, Superior 6. There's not going to be a room to get one of those characters in. It's just not going to be a thing. There's no spot for him. And like X is saying right here, there's no room for him on the team, okay? So Safeguard will really, really hurt this ability for sure because we don't have a decay as of yet. The only decay is on Scorpion, and that's only when he does his ultimate. So that's tough. And the Scorpion is much slower, and he definitely won't get to do it till turn 2, by the looks of it. Unless Shocker goes before Scorpion, and we can get energy from our Superior Spider-Man. Let's see this ultimate.
See the animation on that special, how he attacks the enemies and does the chain attack and stuff like that. So can't wait to see that. Then he'll do his ult on turn 2, attack all enemies for 300% damage, apply heal block, so kind of similar to Green Goblin again. So I'm wondering if they're going to use the same animation on that, because obviously he has the glider, so he'll just fly around is my guess. In raids, apply trauma to all enemies, so again, same kind of thing like Green Goblin has. Bonus attack 5 random enemies for 150% damage. So that's another animation I'm looking forward to. Like, is he going to fly, drop the bombs on people, and then go back to a spot and then start chucking more bombs? That would be really cool if he did that. And then this character, if he has 2 or more Insidious 6 allies, the attack cannot miss. Meaning, dodge. It goes through dodge. It goes through blind. So definitely a powerful, like I said, simple but powerful. And by the way, if you didn't know, there are similarities to Green Goblin, but Hobgoblin, at least the original Hobgoblin, which I'm assuming that this Marvel Strike, this character here is based off of, he has technically no like relation to Norman Osborn, Green Goblin. He just basically, according to the comics of the original Hobgoblin, he stumbled upon one of Norman's labs or hideouts and took a lot of his tech that Norman was working on as prototypes, took all of his tech and made it his own, and that's how Hobgoblin came.
He's a much more brutal character in the comics. In the comics, he's a much more menacing character, I would say. That's why the comic book has him ripping the Spider-Man costume in half. Not loving this so far. So much is riding on Superior Spider-Man's kit. I need Superior Spider-Man to have that Superior 6 tag. Otherwise, I do not see a world where they see Crucible play. But more than that, in War, it'll also hurt them. This is a very, very slow team. Now, one thing Scopely's been doing as of recent, they put out a lot of slow teams, right? Like the Secret Warriors team is pretty slow. Astral is slow. Fantastic Four is obviously super fast. Accursed is slow. Mighty Avengers is slow. It does feel like they're trying to slow down the meta quite a bit, which is good and is healthy, but I wouldn't want to see it happen to the Insidious 6 Superior 6 patch. I would want to see them, have the same sort of speed impact. Doesn't have to be through speed stat, but that like Fantastic Four has. I'd like to see them do some interesting stuff there. So there is a lot riding on Superior Spider-Man. He doesn't need to give them speed stat. It could be more speed bar. It could be speed up on spawn, so you don't even need to have Vulture. Then you could do 3 Insidious 6 characters with whatever, right? So Superior Spider-Man, there's definitely some other things he could do. I think speed up on spawn would be my favorite so far, seeing as how slow their base speeds are and how counterable that is. It's very counterable with Starjammers would just shut it down instantly, right? Professor X would shut it down instantly. Kang would shut it down instantly on the other side. We haven't seen any safeguard on spawn to my knowledge yet either. So let's see what Updog's got left for the last 2 minutes of this. But
Came to be. Yeah. So, little fun fact in case you didn't know much about Hobgoblin. I've seen over the happy with it, I guess. So anyway, all right. So the basic Pumpkin Bomb is his basic. Attack primary target for 200%.
Oh, I read the goddamn... Oh, no, yeah. So we already did the basic. We don't need to read that together. Okay.
Let me know down in the comments what you think of Hobgoblin. Does he meet your expectations?
No,